Hello, and welcome to Through Gamer Goggles. Today on Through Gamer Goggles, we're going to make a character for the Pathfinder Playtest. It's pretty simple, straightforward. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Basically, you follow the steps as outlined in the first chapter. Really, it's kind of in the overview. But I will note that I kind of blend Ancestry background and choosing a class all into one and then kind of spread out a little bit from there. So bear with me. For example, the background of the character I want to make today is a Goblin. I'm not going to name, well, for now I'm going to call him Harley, or Harley Quinn, short for Harley Quinn. We'll get into the reasoning why behind that in a little bit, but I'd like you guys to name them in the comments. So I'm just going to put Harley here. Ancestry is a Goblin. I already know that. Size is small. I'm aware of that. We'll get to the background in a minute. I already do know what my background is going to be. And I know that he's going to be an alchemist, so, or she. I haven't made up my mind what he or she is going to be yet, what gender. And I actually even already know the alignment. The backstory is that this character was raised by somebody other than the goblins. So, I'm going to go with chaotic good. Don't know age, don't know gender, don't know the languages yet, which are here. Which it actually took me designing 3 characters to figure out where that was, because a lot of times I don't pick my languages until I actually start the campaign. So if you're like me, that's that. So then the next thing we do is we open up the book to Ancestry, because we're going to be playing a Goblin. And actually, before we do that, no, I'm just going to I'll do it the way they have it pretty much outlined in the book. What you need to know about creating a Goblin is their basic stuff. The stuff that doesn't change at all. I mean, a lot of this doesn't change, but this is kind of set up like the character sheet. You have hit points, the size, and the speed. So we will go ahead and put the speed here at 25. Hit points, I'm going to use the temporary column to work out all my math. Because it'll be 6 plus class plus con bonus to make it. We skip over perception for now. We'll come back to that later on after we have everything else figured out. We do come down here though, because I have selected my class. My class is going to be an alchemist, so I'm going to put a little X next to this to let me know, and you guys remember throughout the course of the video, that that is my primary ability score for the alchemist. So as a goblin, the next thing I do, this is the way I make my characters, you just fill out everything through here. So we do an ability boost for dexterity, charisma, and 1 for free. So dexterity, and I'm just going to use a straight line and a minus sign for the boosts. And then, let's see, I said dexterity and charisma. I didn't realize that goblins were charismatic. And then we get a free one to put anywhere. And since intelligence is his key ability, I'm going to go ahead and boost intelligence. Now, the way this works, before we go any farther, so you're aware, strength, constitution, wisdom, dexterity, intelligence, and charisma with this system start at a base of 10. Each straight line, or if you want for the visual, you can make it a plus symbol, will add 2 to the number. And then if you have a negative ability score modifier, it would take it down by 2. So every time you put in a mark, it's -1, or I mean -2 or +2. And then you'll see how that plays out here in a little bit. And then his ability flaw is wisdom, so I'm just going to put a minus sign there. And then languages. He has common, or she. It has common. I'm going to call it it for now. and Goblin. At first level, if his intelligence score is over 14, or 14 or higher, I should say, he can select one of the following: Draconic, Dwarven, Gnoll, Gnomish, Halfling, or Orcish. He is going to be over 14. I can tell you that right now, by the way I'm creating the character. So I'm not going to pick it yet. I'm actually not going to pick it during this. I'm just going to put +1 racial. And if I ever get to play this character, oops, they don't use race anymore. So I'm going to call it ancestral. Or I'm going to call it +1 int language for intelligence bonus. And then when I sit down and play the game, whoever my GM is, we'll talk about what's going to be best for the campaign. Then you get the goblin. You've got the traits of being goblin and the traits of being humanoid, which isn't going to play out too much. But what you do want to do is flip over the sheet and go to class features, bonus feats. Powers and abilities, I don't see any of that here, so let's see, where am I going to put it? I'm going to put dark vision in bonus feats. It's not really a feat, it's a racial trait, or an ancestral trait, I should say. Just try and stay true to it. So I'm going to put it right here. Dark vision. Then at first level, you gain an Ancestry feat, which the character sheets are really nice in the sense that they're laid out and they tell you exactly what you get. So your Ancestry feat, in this case, I had two options I wrestled with a little bit: Flameheart or Burn It. I'm going to go with Burn It. Fire fascinates this character. He gets a +1 conditional bonus to any persistent fire damage he deals, and he increases spell level damage by a minimum of 1. You know, it's equal to half his level. So I'm going with Burn It in this instance. And I think that's everything. I don't think I missed anything for the Ancestry. Double check my character that I made earlier so that I wouldn't make that many mistakes while I'm trying to teach you. Then we move to the next step, which is your class. And I chose Alchemist because I think that the Alchemist is going to be a cool class, or a better class. I've never felt that it was a spot-on class in Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to zoom out for a minute. So, real quick, every class has a layout like this. There's on the first page with the picture, there's a description of the character. And then there's playing an alchemist, which is basically things like your motivations, things that your alchemist likes to do, and then role playing is basically what the character or the class does for you and your party. It's kind of a fine line. And then it moves into class features, which I guess we'll do that next. So class features, this I'm going to cheat and I'm just going to go over to the next page so I can actually discuss this part with you. So you might notice here that under class features for first level it says Advanced Alchemy, Alchemist feat, Ancestry feat, background. Oh, that's what we skipped. We skipped choosing our background, which is actually rolled. This is one of the reasons why I kind of roll everything in. If you look at character creation, ancestries and backgrounds are in the same chapter. So we're going to back up a step real quick. And the background I chose for this goblin is Barkeep. Oops, wrong sheet. That goes on this sheet. I chose Barkeep, and it's kind of fun. Now, every background does a handful of things for you. Each background gives you 2 ability boosts, a bonus feat, skill feat specifically, and training in 1 lore skill. So a lot of these, oh, and you can only have 1 background. You can't have multiple backgrounds. That's important to note, and it's actually really good for the balance. So I chose Barkeep, and then the ability boosts for Barkeep are, so 1 must be to Constitution or Charisma. I'm going to go with Constitution. Maybe that's a bad idea. And then the other one I'm going to boost in Intelligence. And then you gain the Hobnobber feat, but since I'm on this page, I'm going to just pop over here to Lore, and I'm going to write in Alcohol. And he's trained in it. I'm going to use a highlighter. You don't have to do this at home. I'm doing this so you can see it better. He's trained in that lore. So, then you go to page 2, and you go to your background feats, or skill feats, background, Hobnobber, which basically allows him to gather information double the normal amount in downtime. Pretty good little ability. Now we can dive into our alchemist stuff. Not bards, Matt. Alchemists. Oh, I'm already there. And we'll look back at that table again for clarity's sake. Alright, so Advanced Alchemy, Alchemist feat, Ancestry feat, background feat, formula book, initial proficiencies, and studied resonance. So you've already gotten the Ancestry feat and the background feat because you chose them before choosing your class. They're not in addition to. At least that's the way I've read the book, and that's the way I've seen it done by other people. That's how I saw it done at the playtest at Gen Con. So I'm going to do this. Class feats and features. Advanced Alchemy. Then formula book. Studied resonance. Oops, skipped my S. And Quick Alchemy, which is an action ability, so I'm going to rewrite it on the front too. I'm going to put it here under actions and activities. It's on page 46, so I'm just going to write that down. And it costs a resonance point, and it has the alchemist trait. I probably didn't need to write trait. I do that all the time. So then we can start with the key ability, intelligence, and all of these things. I already noted that the key ability was intelligence. The hit points are 8. He is trained in perception. Proficiencies are perception, so he's trained in perception. He's an expert in fortitude and an expert in reflex saves. So you're going to get the trained in both of those and the expert. And then trained in will. Then trained in a number of skills equal to 2 plus your intelligence mod. So that would be a total of, in his case, we don't know yet, because we're not done assigning numbers down here. So I'm just going to write over here 2 plus int mod, which I'm pretty sure is going to be plus 4. And we'll come back to this section in a second for the skills. And then weapons, he's trained in simple weapons and alchemical bombs. Those are all your weapon and armor proficiencies are across the top. So he's trained in simple weapons and alchemical bombs. I'm just going to write bombs. He's trained in light armor. And his signature skills, which this is important to note, these are the skills that you can advance your trainings in. So signature skills are, advanced beyond expert, I should say, are going to be Arcana, Crafting, and Medicine. So now we're to the point where we plug in our key abilities, or the rest of our key abilities, or our key abilities. Wow, that was bad. This is where we plug in the rest of our ability traits and stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means I have 5 left. So just so you guys know where I'm getting some of this information from, it's pages 18 through 20. And the step-by-step instructions are here, but your ability boosts are listed right here. You can't go above 18 at first level. And you get the ability boosts when they're basically given to you, plus everyone gets 4 free ability boosts at first level, and plus you get 1 boost from your class for its key ability. So you'll apply the ability boost for flaw she receives, ancestry, background, and class. So intelligence gets boosted another 1, and then we get 4 to put anywhere we want, but they can't be duplicated. And I'm going to put 1 in my wisdom, so I end up with a 10 wisdom. I'm going to put 1 in strength, so I'm not a total weakling. That's 2. 3, I'm going to make my intelligence an 18, and I'm going to boost my dexterity, because he's a dexterity-based character for combat, pretty much. So we can do this now. We can fill these out. So this is 12, So this modifier is +1. Constitution is a 12, so that'll be a +1. We have -2 to 8, +2 to 10, so that'll be 0 modifier. Then we have two, 4 for a total of 14, which is a +2 modifier. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 for 18. That'll be a +4 modifier. And we have a 12 for a +1 modifier. Now, for those of you that have played Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, the modifier table hasn't changed any. They use the same numbers. Now we can go ahead and I'm going to slide this off to the side a little bit. Did I turned on my flashlight. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry. All right, now I'm going to go ahead. If you remember correctly, the Alchemist has, where is it? He has, I didn't select my skills that I'm trained in. So, proficiencies, he's trained in a number of skills to 2 plus the intelligence modifier. So I'm going to go ahead and select my 6 skills now, because his modifier is 4 for intelligence, right? And we're going to go with, well, we're going to make it easy. We're going to take everything that he's got his signature in. And that is 3. Now this does stack on top of the one that you already have been trained in. As far as my knowledge, I didn't see anything that takes away from your background. And then I'm going to select acrobatics. That's 1. I don't think this guy's going to be very diplomatic. I think he's going to end up needing thievery the way I have him, and stealth. So that should be a total of 7 trained skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then, I mean, if you want, you can go ahead and plug stuff in now, number-wise. I'm going to go ahead and wait to do that a little bit here, I think. Yeah, because we're going to go ahead. Wait, let me make sure I have everything on the back. So I have. Oh, I think I am missing something. Let me double check real quick. Alchemy. I believe the Alchemist. Went too far. He gets an Alchemist feat at first level. So those are outlined on page 48. We're going to jump there real quick. I skipped over picking this, but I chose Farlobber when I made the character earlier. You've learned techniques to improve your distance throwing. When you throw an alchemical bomb, it has a range increment of 30 instead of the usual 20 feet. I thought that could be really beneficial for a little wimpy goblin. So I'm going to put that on the back here. And what I did is I just took Quick Alchemy out because there's not enough first level slots there. And it's an action, so it really has a spot on the front. And I'm going to add Farlobber. Then, equipment. That's what I did next. Now I've already done my equipment. So I'm just going to go ahead and write it out. It leaves me with about 70 gold for food and other things like a tinderbox and maybe a bedroll that he might not be able to carry. But the important thing is here that while we do this, we're going to cover bulk. So it's important to note, and I'm going to write this up here just so you guys can see this. This has no significance when you see that in the books. I might have spelled that wrong. And then 10 L's equals 1 bulk. Now, bulk is basically the size and weight of an item to make it how hard it is to carry with a numeric value assigned to it. It's no longer as complicated as just weight. So, first thing I bought was leather armor, which is +1 to my AC. It has a bulk of 1. And then I bought a dagger. And then I bought a blowgun with 20 darts. I'm going to put an L there and 2 L's there because every 10 darts is considered a light. And the dagger is light. So L, and then I'm going to put 3L there. Good, you can see that. Then I bought my Alchemist tools. And that's 1 bulk. And a belt / pouch. That's negligible. Caltrops, which are going in my pouch, which is, I believe, a light. Yep. And my formula book. Now you can do the math if you guys want. This is around, I think, 89 silver pieces, which is 1 bulk. Now I'm going to add it. Okay, so basically, bulk, encumbrance. So it's going to be 5 plus your strength modifier, which in this case is 1. So my max bulk is 6. At 10 plus, you can't carry anything, so that would be 16. My current bulk is 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, wait. 1, 2, 3, plus 3, 4, 5 L's, so it's like 3.5. I'm good. Now I'm going to go to the front of the page. Oops. I'm going to go to the front of the page, and I'm going to go ahead and fill out all my weapon stuff. I'm going to zoom out just a hair so you guys can see all this. And my dagger, my ability score is +1. I'm just going to put a 1 in there. Oh, plus I'm trained in it. Which is another 1. The trained, the first one is your level. So if you're untrained, it's your level -2. But if you're trained, it's your level. So at first level, it's going to be a 1. This will change every level. And then the damage is 1d4 piercing. Now I got to double check and see if it's different for a small creature. And then traits. Wow, there's a lot of traits here. It's versatile. Piercing. I lied. Agile. Has finesse. And can be thrown 10 feet. And then we'll go here. I'm going to start with the blowgun. Dexterity of 2. I am trained in that. Next is going to be bombs. I'm trained in that. I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now. 1, 1, dexterity 2. I don't know where to find the traits because they vary. I'm just going to leave that blank. It depends on what I'm throwing. alchemy and fire, or acid and fire have different traits, and obviously when you get into doing cold stuff, they can have different traits. So the blowgun is 1 piercing damage. Traits are agile and non-lethal. See where I'm going with this guy? Alright, so now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to fill out my skill stuff. So my dexterity bonus is 2. My proficiency bonus is 1 here because I'm a first level character. I'm just going to go get that out of the way. Oops. So we're going to come right down the lines here. Intelligence bonus is 4 because my intelligence is 18. Wisdom is a 0. Dexterity is a 2. So why am I not filling everything in? Because basically those skills I'm untrained in. I don't have any proficiencies. It's just a matter of taking the modifier and subtracting the 2 from it. I can do that at a later date. I'm doing this really to save time. And then, okay, so we just go across here and we go 1, 3. My base is 3. My base is 5 for Arcana. My base is 5 for crafting. My base is 5 for alcohol lore. My base is 1 for medicine. My base is 3 for stealth and 3 for thievery. That should be 7 skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My skills are done. What I didn't take into account yet is the armor, but there's no armor penalty for the character. So, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now. I am trained in the leather armor because it is a simple armor, or a light armor I should say. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to start figuring everything else out. So, start right at the top. Named him Harley. If you guys don't like that, let me know what the goblin should be named. He is first level. He has no experience points. Or she. Chaotic good, deity. I'm not going to pick that until I kind of know what we're playing. Or what I want this character to believe in. Maybe he's going to worship some fire god. Age, don't totally know that yet. Gender, I don't know that yet. Hero points. We're going to start right there. You got 1 at the start. You can earn hero points by doing heroic deeds, bringing extra food back to camp, or things of that nature. So your class DC level is your level plus your key ability modifier, which in this case is 4. So for most people at first level, it should be 15. I would think. My hit points are going to be 6 plus 8 plus my Constitution modifier of 1, which is 15. And then I can take that out of there. And then my Perception. So my Perception is my Wisdom modifier of 0 plus my Proficiency of 1. My Perception is 1. Why did I get 2? What did I do different? I cheated last time I made my character. That's what I did different. And then we're going to move into Fortitude. So Fortitude, this is where it kind of gets a little bit more fun. Fortitude. So you have your Constitution bonus, which in this case is a 1. I have my Dexterity, or, well, we'll just come over here. You get 1 for your level, plus 1 for being expert, so that's a 2. And so my Constitution, or my Fortitude, is a 3. My Reflex is going to be Dexterity of plus 2, plus 1, plus my Proficiencies of 2 for a 4. And then Wisdom will be a 0, but I get 1 for being trained, and it's 1. Now my AC. So we have the basic AC of 10 plus your dexterity mod, which in my case is 2. And I'll get that in both instances. I am trained, so there's the 1 for my level in both instances. And then for the item, it's +1. You don't get a +1 for the other armor class, so I'm going to have an armor class of 14 and 13 touch. Double check that real quick. That is correct. And I do believe we are done with our character. Let's go over it real quick. So we have a Goblin Alchemist who's a barkeeper. And his backstory is going to be that, oh, I didn't select stuff from the formula. That's on the back of this page. So the formula book at first level, you get 4 formulas. And these are kind of what I'm working with right now. I have Alchemist Fire, Acid Flask, Cheetah's Elixir, which kind of ties into his story. Why he became an adventurer is he put it into somebody's beer and they went crazy and they came after him and he ran away. An Elixir of Life. I'm not certain if I'm going to keep this one. That depends on what the GM thinks for this particular adventure, which who knows when I'm going to get to that, because I'm probably going to run an adventure first. And that's it, man. That's everything. You get to write your story background, your character up now. Please, guys, let me know what you think of this video. I would love to hear from you. I hope that it was easy to follow. You know, like I said, I've still got some money left over. When I get into adventuring with my party, I'm going to go ahead and buy things that we need as a whole. So that's why it's not here. Have a great day. Hi, guys. Meet the Nibbles, who's going to go down. She just decided not to go down my back. So we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button. And share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in a link below, and my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know, you're not going to go knock down my camera. Bye, guys.